Hey, what's going on, PMP Beta? My name is Sam, and today I'm bringing you guys a PE battle I had against my good friend wojton1314. I highly doubt that's how you pronounce it, but if you're watching this, buddy, I'm very sorry. So on my channel, I primarily upload PU and NU battles. As most of you know, Pokemon battling can be quite competitive, but I kind of play more for the fun aspect, so that's why I really enjoy the lower tiers. But enough of that, let's just get into this battle. Alright, so I'm sure you guys saw from the team preview, we both kind of brought some really random stuff, but to be honest, that is why I really do enjoy the PU and NU tier so much, because you never really know what you're going to be coming up against. So he's going to be leading off with his Kingler, I will be leading off with my Dwebble. The great thing about Dwebble is it has access to Stealth Rocks as well as Spikes, and also has Sturdy, so if I lead off with it, I can pretty much assure myself getting up at least the Stealth Rocks. And then I also have the Custat Berry on there, and what the Custat Berry does is if you're under a fourth of your maximum HP, it's going to make your next move a priority move. So as you see there, going to be able to go for a priority layer of spikes right before he takes me out. And that means my hazards are there to stay for the rest of the battle, because as we saw in the team preview, he does not have a rapid spinner. So that's great. So seeing no Life Orb recoil on the Kingler, I figured it would be choice in some sort of way, so I went into my Psyduck really just bluffing the fact that it was more of a defensive build, but I'm actually a sub-calm minding one, which is really cool. I've been enjoying it quite a lot in the PU tiers, and Psyduck can pull it off really well. So he's going to go into his Ivysaur now. I'm guessing this thing was especially defensive wall, and even at +1, I don't think Ice Beam will be doing too much, and I figured he might want to go for a status-inducing move there, so I'm going to set up a sub. Thankfully, he's going to go for a Leech Seed, which obviously does not affect me because I'm behind a substitute, and this will give me a chance to set up to +2 with Calm Mind. He's going to pull a switch into his Mawile, probably figuring that I'll go for the Ice type move, but like I said, if I'm behind a sub, there's no reason not to go for another Calm Mind. And the thing that's great about this situation is, while it may not look it, Psyduck is actually quite fast, and with max speed and timid nature, it's sitting at about 229 speed, which is actually very decent and can outspeed a large majority of the PU tier, as well as Mawile, so I will be able to outspeed, go for a +2 Surf, and just take it out. I could have had Hydro Pump on there just for the extra power, but I feel Psyduck is so derpy looking, it would probably miss quite a few of those Hydro Pumps for me, so didn't put it on there. So he's going to go back into his Kingler. I figured since I'm still behind a sub, I'll just go for a Surf. I have nothing to hit him for regular damage, but I am at +2, and Kingler isn't known for its special defense, and this actually almost takes him out. He lives on like 5 HP, and I was really impressed with that. But now I don't want to take a Sheer Force boosted Rock Slide from this Kingler, so I'm going to go into my Rhyhorn. He's at such a low range of HP, he's very easy to deal with now. And I really figured he would switch out here, so I just went for a Roar, hoping that I could just get some hazards damage racking up on him. But I guess he did not want to save Kingler for death fodder and just stayed in. But that's still fine, because now I can start roaring some stuff. I do bring him out into his Dragonair, however, and Dragonair does get access to Waterfall, but it's not as common, so I just figured he would go for an Outrage or something, and I can just go for another Roar. That is exactly what he does. He's going to go for an Outrage, does about 30 damage to me, because Rhyhorn is such a tank. But now sadly I will bring him out into his Ivysaur, and I don't want to be taking any Giga Drains from this thing. So I'm going to switch out of there, and I believe go into my Hypno. Hypno is actually not a specially defensive wall like you guys might expect it to be. It's actually a physical attacker, which works very well. He will go for a Leech Seed though instead of just attacking me, which is the smarter play, but now that I'm in here I do have the Choice Scarf, and I also have Trick. People don't really expect it on Hypno, and you can really cripple some walls like this Ivysaur, because Ivysaur has many support moves because it's more of a defensively oriented Pokemon. So if I can lock him into like a Toxic or a Leech Seed, he'll be much easier to deal with. So now he's going to go for a Toxic, and as tempting as it is to go for a Zen Headbutt on this up and coming turn, I am Leech Seeded now as well as Toxic, so this damage will be racking up hella fast, so I'm going to have to get out of there. It works out well in my favor though, because he has the same plan. He's going to switch out of there and go into his Kingler, I believe, just sacking it and trying to get switch initiative. But instead of staying in, like I said, I will switch out because I don't want the toxic damage racking up. It still works out well in his favor, however, because now he still does have switch initiative as I go into my Rhyhorn. So now he's going to go into his Delibird, I believe, and I know Delibird does get Seed Bomb. I was kind of pondering about this for a while, why he brought it in, but then I was like, oh yeah, Seed Bomb, quad, super effective, so not going to want to stay in and take a Hustle boosted Seed Bomb. So I went into my Hypno to take that, but thankfully he does miss it. I mean, Hustle does reduce the accuracy of your moves while boosting the power, so quite a risky ability if you ask me. He will hit the second one, however, and do quite a lot of damage to me. I did not expect that much damage. I am running quite a couple HP EVs on there, but gonna go for a Zen Headbutt and just take this Delibird out. Getting a kill with a physically attacking Hypno is quite rewarding. but now he's at a range of HP where he's pretty much just death fodder to me. He's gonna go back into his Ivysaur, and I figured I can just save him for later. I thought he would go for a grass type move, so this was a good time to go into my Choice Specs Modest Magmar, which can absolutely hit like a truck if you fire off some Staff Fire Blasts. But instead of going for the grass type move, he will go for the Venoshock, which makes sense because I was Toxic. And that's pretty neat, running Toxic and Venoshock on the same set on Ivysaur. So now I'm going to go for a Fire Blast, really just over predicting him to go into, I believe, his Dragonair. But he's just going to stay in, and regardless of not having the Eviolite, he'll be able to take that because he does resist it. And like I said, most definitely, he's especially defensive. So I'm going to get out of there because I felt like Magmar could have been some use later on, especially with his Heatmor. I'm going to go back into my Hypno, just sack it so I can get a safe switch into something else that I want to bring in. And I will indeed bring in the mightiest of all godlike Pokemon, Bidoof. And this is a chance for me to kind of set up with Bidoof. This is a cursing Bidoof with Last Resort. So the way Last Resort works obviously is once you've used all your moves, you can then use it. And it has 140 base power, so I figured if I throw Curse on there, it's pretty much set up and hit things really hard. So now I'm sitting at plus 2 attack, plus 2 defense because of the simple ability. And I will be able to take 2 Venoshocks from Ivysaur because I am running the max HP with the Eviolite, and I will be able to take him out with the Last Resort. So Bidoof got a kill in a Wi-Fi battle for me, so that means I can pretty much die happily. But he is not done yet. He's going to go into the Heatmor, and I figured Focus Blast is coming my way, but thankfully, the fact that my opponent likes to run some interesting sets means that he's running a physically offensive Heatmor, and at plus 2 defense and the Eviolite with max HP, I can take a non-boosted Fire Punch and just take him out with another Last Resort. So Bidoof getting 2 kills, doing big work in this battle for me. And now I believe his last Pokemon is just his Dragonair, and I honestly thought Bidoof was just going to clean up for me here. He's going to go for an Outrage. I figured I might be able to live it because I am at this plus 2. And Bidoof is slightly bulky with the Eviolite, but sadly he does get a crit. Not sure if I could have lived that, but he did tell me he was max HP, max defense. So even if I did, I wasn't sure if a Last Resort would be able to kill even at plus 2. So I'm going to go into my Rhyhorn knowing I can take those Outrages very easily as I saw earlier. And I didn't want to go for like a Rock Blast or Earthquake because I knew it wouldn't do too much. I'm going to go for counter. Thankfully for me, he does get the 3-turn Outrage, so I will be able to just stay in, take another one, and just go for an Earthquake to take him out. And that will be the game. So, hope you guys enjoyed this battle for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed my first upload to PMP Beta, and hopefully I'll have many more in the future. If you did enjoy, feel free to come check out my channel, but for now, it's been Sam, and I'll see you all next time.